pleasant welcome to our viewers, and thank you for joining us here on this exclusive interview. Today we're going to speak about two Dominicans who will be among 60 young people from around the Commonwealth to receive the Queen's Young Leaders Award in London in 2017. They are Rihanna Patterson, who is 19, and Eba Ravare, 28. Both individuals were chosen for making remarkable contributions in their communities and transforming the lives of people as well. So joining me are Rihanna and Eba, and we will be speaking about this accomplishment and what it means to them, and they will also have the opportunity to tell us exactly how they've affected their separate communities and by extension Dominica. And this year, award winners are leading projects tackling global issues including education, climate change, gender equality, mental health, and disability equality. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining me. And how are you today?
Okay.
I mean, after receiving such wonderful news, you both should be very, very excited.
Well, for me it was rather humbling. So I do see that as well. I mean, you sign up for these things and hope that you're recognized, but then you never really believe that. And then it's an awesome feeling.
Now, Rihanna, tell us, how did you feel? For Eba, it was humbling. How did you feel when you received the news?
I would say so myself. It was a big shock to me, and I think it's a great achievement. I never thought I would make that sort of impact on people, which is great, and I'm very excited about it.
Now, Rihanna, do you feel that every move you've made so far in your life has led you to that exact position you're in right now? Being selected for the Queen's Young Leaders Award?
I would say so, yeah. I've come to a stage in my life where I'm building up on myself. I'm making changes. What I don't like, I throw it away, and what I do like, I will improve on it. So I will say that it's
excellent. Now, Rihanna, as a youth, I must say you've made quite an impact, and you've done very well in terms of establishing the Dominica Dementia Foundation. What led you to take that course?
What led me to take that course? Well, in 2013, I lost my grandfather. He had dementia, and it impacted the family. There is no word to describe it. It really affected us. And 2014, I went on to the Dominica State College, where I pursued my degree in psychology, and that also, my grandfather was the reason for that decision, because I was interested in law and so on, and I just decided that's not me, that's not where my heart is. So I pursued psychology. I graduated in 2016 with an associate's degree in psychology, and that was in summer of 2016. And I just kind of reflected on my life, what I want to accomplish, what I have accomplished. And I always wanted to create something that will last longer than I am. Right, so I thought about my life, and well, 19 years of life.
I know, because not many 19-year-olds would be thinking about the things that you've done with your life so far.
Yeah, so I thought about it, and I want to make a difference, because I know how it feels to go to school and you don't even know what's going on, because there's so much going on at home already. So if I could reach out to these people, help them, and just create awareness of dementia in Dominica, then that would just fulfill my dreams. So I launched on the 2nd of September at the University of West Indies, and that's how the Dominica Dementia Foundation was born.
And I must say, it's been, since its inception, a lot of things have been happening. You've been launching your campaigns, raising awareness. You've been doing a really, really good job at it so far. So tell us, what's the next step with regards to the foundation?
All right, well, we already elected our new executive for 2017. I'm very excited about this board because we only started with 3 of us. So the president, myself, Dr. Devancha Sharma, which is a psychiatrist, and he was a vice president, and Mr. Jacqueline Douglas, who's the secretary of the foundation. And now we have 5 members for the executive board, which 4 of them are young people like me. So, and some of them are still in college. So I'm really excited about it. The new president is Fayolanda. He's a student at the Dominica State College, and he has the spunk. So I'm very excited about that. There's also the vice president is still Dr. Devancha Sharma. There's Alicia Alexander, who's the public relations officer, and there's Craig Laron, who's the secretary, and there's also the treasurer, who is Esmeralda Joseph.
Excellent.
So
great things are going to happen for the coming year with regards to the Dementia Foundation.
Yes.
And you said a lot of the individuals in the executive are very young. It just proves that age is just a number, that when you put your mind to something, anything can be accomplished.
Really age should never be the limit.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, Eva, I haven't forgotten about you. Now, you're the president of a youth cooperative which focuses on fostering social and economic development in a number of sectors. Can you tell us more about it?
Okay, we're the sole multi-purpose cooperative.
So the organization also, or the group also provides an avenue for youth to become self-sufficient as well.
Correct. So for instance, as we speak, when I leave here, I might go to the site. We're developing a nursery. It's a propagation site. So that way we'll be able to provide youth or any persons interested in agriculture with planting material, and a lot of the planting material we'll be providing would be used in our products. So there would be a market one time. So this sort of sustainability would be going on. We're trying to do sustainable development, not just random development.
Excellent. I love to hear this. Now, have you always been a part of youth groups growing up?
Well, I was raised in church.
Okay.
So you know, when you're raised in church, there's the youth department, and then I was part of a pretty active youth department.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got the opportunity to lead from really young. So.
How would you say, or how do you feel that you've impacted your community or the community of the Northeast?
Okay. The goal of SOUL in agriculture and agro-processing is to make agriculture cool again. To show young persons that agriculture is not that thing that everybody said that it was.
Right.
Agriculture is the sustenance of any country. And I'm a big proponent on food security. Having your own food in your country, being able to produce it, and not just produce it, but produce it and be able to store it, hence the agro-processing for longer periods of time. My long-term and the rest of the team goal is to have seed banks, so things wouldn't go extinct, plants wouldn't go extinct, and also to have how do you call it, food banks. So let's say you have a large storage of whatever type of food. So in times like we had Erica last year it was?
Year before? 2015? Yeah, last year. I think we're in 2017.
Fast tracking. Yeah, so at times like that, we would have sustenance internally, what if we couldn't have gotten access from outside? Where would we have stand?
Right.
So it's stuff, things like that we really want to.
And that is very interesting. A lot of people underestimate the importance of the agriculture sector.
Certainly.
And I mean, there's so much we can do with regards to the agriculture sector.
Yes.
And we have the land is available, and we should just everybody should get involved, even if it's for sustenance of your own families. You don't have to go large scale. You can start with small families, and then if you feel like you want to extend it, you can extend it as well.
So true.
That's a really good initiative.
Correct.
You've also worked to develop youth groups focusing on addressing social and environmental issues. Tell us more about that.
Okay, so for instance, in the Northeast, there was the East Federation,
Right.
and was the Dominica Children's Federation.
Okay.
So we partnered with the East Federation to do different things. So they were developing youth groups. So
Right.
at times I myself and other members of the team would go ahead. I've done motivational speeches for some of the youths that have been involved in direct helping, to just volunteering my time to help develop some of the programs with their program officer, who is Valerie Honore. And she was the YLI young leader for Dominica.
Yes, I remember her.
Correct.
Yes.
So, and then also there are a few initiatives, for instance, in the nursery that we're developing. One thing we want to do is what we call a program called, and that's my baby, a program called the Soul Farmers Initiative.
Okay.
Where, like I said, we provide planting material, but not just provide it. So we would help the young farmer along the way.
Right.
So
You mean give him guidance in terms of
Correct.
how to plant and
The
stuff
how
like that.
to, the what to,
Okay.
the whatever. And
Yes.
as we grow, not only provide planting material, but as we develop partnerships, but be able to give them inputs and required training and that sort of thing, and make it something great.
This is so excellent, both of you guys. I'm very proud of you all, I must say. Now, being a part of your foundation and your groups for quite a number of years, did you ever think that would lead you to winning the Queen's Young Leaders Awards? I'm sure, I speaking to you all, I'm sure that's not what you got into it for. You both are genuinely passionate about what you do. But it's good to know that you can be passionate about something and get recognized for it as well.
It is.
Yeah, excellent. Now, with regards to the Queen Young Leaders Award, Rihanna, what do you hope to accomplish during the year 2017?
Well, the Queen's Young Leaders Award, I hope that I will inspire other youth to go out there and create something. You know, they may have it on the paper, but take it off the paper.
Right.
Right? And start creating what they want to accomplish. Whatever's on the paper, just take it away. Start now. Don't start like 3 years after saying, oh, I want to do this, but I'll do it later. Because you never know what later may bring. So all we have is now, so they should just start now.
Right.
And see where it goes.
What do you hope to accomplish during your year as the Queen's Young Leader Award in Dominica?
My number one goal in attaining this award is to become a voice. So to use the status, the whatever comes with it, and be a voice for youth, not just in agriculture, but in so many other ways. Because I am one, looking at my upbringing, if I had support in certain areas, I would have been even further.
Right.
Because I knew the thoughts, I knew my thoughts, and only you can know your thoughts. You know what you want to accomplish. It may not always be easy, but here we are. So that means it's possible.
Of course it is.
And sometimes all young persons need is someone to believe in them, someone to speak on their behalf when they can say the things that they really want to say in the places that they need to say it. So if I can be that voice for youth, primarily my love is agriculture and agro-processing there, but then in every other area that's what once I do that, I'm okay.
Excellent. Now, tell me about your trip. When are you guys leaving? What are you expected to do? Just tell me, basically, what's the process?
Well, our trip is next year, as you know, in June. We'll be amongst 58 Commonwealth.
Yes.
Right, 58 individuals in the Commonwealth doing amazing things such as us, and we'll be able to network with the individuals as well as organizations, and just basically promote our business, promote ourselves, and give advice, get advice, grow as an individual and assist our organizations as we can from whatever teaching we get in the period.
And what do you look forward to the most for the trip in June? What do you look forward the most to seeing the Queen? What is it? Do you
see the Queen of course?
And it'll be your first time in London?
No.
No. Okay. What about you, Eva?
It will be my first time, and the trip, I think it's between the dates of the 20th to the 30th
of June.
Yes, June. Yes.
June.
Yeah, that's the tentative dates. And what I'm really looking for is, with every opportunity, the experience, because I want to write books later on in life.
Oh, that's excellent.
The experience is invaluable to me, and I mean, I get to meet the Queen. So,
of course. Now, Rihanna, back to your foundation. Statistics show, I did a little research, that over 47.5 million people currently suffer from dementia. For us here in Dominica, how do you intend to curb that growing problem? Like, what strategies do you have in place to try to curb dementia in Dominica? Not just curb, but at least treat it as well.
Well, in terms of treatment, in the foundation we provide emotional support to those who suffer from dementia, their families, and also their caregivers. So if we can assist them, let them know more about the diagnosis, so that they won't feel frightened when they start to do some strange things, like what's happening, and they get anxiety and then all that, and then depression. So one thing leads to another, and then they get worse. So if we can speak to them and, you know, give them, there's a lot of stigma attached to dementia, so if we can allow them, if we can speak to them on a level that they feel like they are being respected, then that also helps. So we don't want to dehumanize them. We will speak to them just as I am speaking to you, and help them learn and help them understand it better, and their families to understand it as well, so that they don't yell at them or turn them away or say this and that. And you know, it's a healing process.
So that's where the support groups would come in that you could help. Like, for example, if my mom is suffering from dementia, like, you know, probably I'd get agitated and frustrated, and, you know, probably even result to verbal abuse. And that group would provide an avenue to people who are not so knowledgeable on dementia, so they can be able to treat the person in a different way.
We'll have the group counseling sessions, and we'll also have outreach and, you know, workshops and so on for others, because the group counseling session has to be only those that suffer from dementia, their families and their caregivers, because it's a very sensitive topic. And if someone that doesn't know about the topic as much and they say something, it may not be offensive, but it may come up as offensive to those in the group. And that can also create a problem that we don't want. So we'll have two separate groups, and also confidentiality. There needs to be a level of trust between that group. Because counseling and trust, it goes hand in hand. If you don't have the trust and counseling, then it's not going to work.
Excellent.
So that's how it is.
Now, Eba, you mentioned earlier that growing up, if you had the support that your group is trying to give to a lot of individuals, you would be farther off in life. Now, with regards to young men growing up in society within your district, what plans do you have in place for them? Because, you know, women are ahead in basically everything. Men are slowly taking a back seat. So what programs do you have in place for young men in the society?
Right now we're speaking on the social aspect of soul. So there isn't at the moment any specific program. What is happening is this: we engage other young men, not just young men, because we try and be as balanced as possible, but as you rightly said, there is that trend with men these days. There's a lot that could be said on that, but then when in our engaging of them, we try to involve them in as much of everything we do. There is this trend where we tend to see young ladies or ladies and men performing distinct roles.
Yes.
Now, I personally believe that which I mean, it has its place, but then the way it is being applied, I do not subscribe. Because if I had to take that view, I would not have read as much as I did. I would not have spent time writing as much as I did. I would not have been able to do minutes. Because we tend to see, let's say, we're in a meeting, who's going to take the minutes?
It's a woman's job. Yeah, that's what people
But then
normally.
taking minutes is an integral skill. It teaches you to grasp the important stuff amongst a lot of things, a lot of what is being said.
Yes.
So you see, in these areas, I, to an extent, even blame the way society has cultured us. So we've gotten to the point where we're dealing with the effects, but the cause is not the young men themselves, it's the society that we have been raised in. So in terms of that, we engage young men, and I can say we have a team, and it's really balanced, men and women, and young guys that I communicate with in this organization are pretty
Active?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
We have, and what we're trying to do right now is reach out to different persons with different skill sets, not just in the area, because I believe this is bigger than just an area in Dominica. It's even bigger than Dominica.
Of course.
So we have a young man from Newtown area, Nestor Philip. That's a very, very, very. No, I'm telling you, he's one of the young men that you meet him, he's assertive, he knows what he wants to say, and he says it. And that's where we need to get our men back to, not to that laid back position as you said. And then the only way it can truly be done is by us doing it ourselves. If you want something done, you do it yourself as a man.
True.
Yeah.
Now, while we're still on you, what advice would you give to individuals who probably has a plan? As Rihanna said, the plan is on paper and it stays there for years and years, and probably sometimes we pass and it's still on paper. What advice would you give to Dominicans in allowing them to make their dreams become reality instead of just it sitting on paper?
You're saying that to me and a million things are running through my mind. Like on my entrepreneurial journey, I have come across a lot. And there are quite a few that have stuck with me. One of them is this. There's this guy, I can't remember who he is, what he is, but he said, fail quick, but fail cheap. You have an idea, you go out and you try it. Without not too much resources being put into it, just to know if it's sensible, if it works, you collect data. She said, Rihanna said, it's on paper, we need to go out there and do it. Another guy said, I've never seen a business grow by just being there.
Right.
You have to be in business to grow in business. So to grow from an idea to something tangible, you have to take that idea and from some angle, somewhere, somehow, start off. And the last thing I will say, it's your dream. If you want me to believe in your dream, you have to first believe in your dream. And if you do not believe in your dream enough to start it,
I get you.
yes. So on that, I'll just leave those words. Do your best, try your best, give it your all. Your dream is an extension of yourself. Grow yourself, develop yourself. That ancient saying, know thyself. It's an invaluable statement. For when you know who you are, where you're coming from, you will know where you're heading to, or where you want to head to at least.
Excellent. Rihanna, you have anything to add?
Well, I think you said it all. But I would say that don't let anyone belittle you. If you have a dream, set out to make that dream a reality. As I said already, age is just a number, and vision is everything. Once you have a vision, and you know what you're about, start to get people, start to build on that dream, and start to see it unfold. And I think the most beautiful thing is when you actually see your dream come to life.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It really warms your heart. Like, you are not the same after that. Like, I think I wouldn't be the same if I didn't have my foundation.
Right.
The life I lived before my foundation is not what it is now. Now I have to wake up, go to work, go meetings. But if I didn't have my foundation, I wake up and I go to work, I go home.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so it really, your life will never be the same. Your life will never be the same, and it's a good thing. You know, it's wow. It's 1 in a million when you see a dream come to life. And it's not just someone's dream, it's your dream.
Right.
It's your dream, and people are part of that dream. So it's beautiful. It really is.
Guys, it was a pleasure having you here to discuss your achievements with us, and really, really good advice from both of you. I hope that resonates with the Dominican public on how to get their dreams off the paper and into reality. Thank you for joining us, and I wish you all the best. Maybe I won't be there to see you all take off on the plane, but I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome.